Hey there, quirky people. I am your host, Anna, and today we'll be looking at a few actors who could play the Sentry in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie. While DC has been struggling to get a Superman movie in motion for the last 5 to 7 years, Marvel is continuously bringing in their Superman counterparts. First, Captain Marvel came into the mix, but her power set is obviously a bit different from Superman. The powers of Ikaris, on the other hand, are not. He was an exact Superman replica that Marvel came up with.
Any of them.
But guess what? Marvel has at least 2 more characters in the can who have been exactly inspired by Superman. One of them is Hyperion, who may take a while to appear. But the other one is the Sentry, who is coming in sooner than anyone could expect. Rumor has it that he will be one of the main antagonists in the Thunderbolts movie, and a group of super soldiers, super spies, and Hulk counterparts will have to take him on. It will surely be a nice contrast as the Sentry, aka Robert Reynolds, is an insanely powerful character in the comics. He got his powers from the Golden Sentry Serum, which was an amplified version of the Super Soldier Serum. And from there on, Robert's cells were constantly powered by the sun. He got abilities like invulnerability, superhuman strength, speed, flight, and many others. So you see, he's clearly another Superman counterpart, only stronger. Since he is coming into play real soon, Marvel will shortly reveal the actor who will play the Sentry. But before they announce it, here are 10 actors who could end up playing the Sentry in the MCU. First up, we have Henry Cavill. Now, obviously, if you talk about an actor for a Superman counterpart, then you cannot skip Henry Cavill. He isn't the Man of Steel anymore, and there's a huge fan outcry for that. People want to see him as Superman, but that won't happen anymore. So Marvel should cash in on the opportunity. They should cast Henry Cavill as the Sentry, because he was the perfect Superman. And his roles in The Witcher and Mission Impossible 6 prove that his intensity would be really great for the Sentry's evil version, that is the Void.
I am what they say I am. What?
But if you think Marvel should move away from Henry Cavill, then I've got a few other names for you guys. At number 2 there is Alexander Skarsgard. He is the oldest among the Skarsgard brothers and was in contention for many roles like Thor and Captain America. His career took a dip after his stint in The Legend of Tarzan failed. But in the last few years, he has been very ambitious with his roles. Not only was he the lead in Godzilla vs. Kong, but he also played the leading man in The Northman and Infinity Pool. Now it would be amazing if he finally gets to join the MCU as the Sentry. But one could think that since the Sentry is a rather unknown character, it might need a bigger name actor to push the role. So in that case, Marvel could try Ryan Gosling. Over the years, people have fan-cast Gosling in quite a few Marvel roles. But with his acting talent and physique, he could be a very good Robert Reynolds. His intense roles in films like Blade Runner 2049 and First Man prove that he'd also be able to play the Void really well. And his stardom in the Thunderbolts would pull in a lot of fans. In fact, the Thunderbolts movie would have a huge cast of A-listers with others like Sebastian Stan, David Harbour, Florence Pugh, and even Harrison Ford. So adding Ryan Gosling into the mix would be huge. But if you don't prefer him as the Sentry, then I've got Boyd Holbrook. This American actor got his big break in the first 2 seasons of Narcos. Then he played the villainous Donald Pierce in Logan, and also starred in 2022's The Sandman on Netflix. His deep voice and acting chops are loved by many.
That a girl. Hey, baby.
So I personally think that he could turn out to be a great choice for the Sentry in the MCU. He already has the experience to play both heroes and villains. So that's what's required for the Sentry as well. So he would be a cool pick. And since Marvel usually ends up throwing big curveballs with their casting choices, maybe they could choose someone like Alexander Ludwig. He is a blonde and muscular actor who stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. At just 30 years of age, he has all the makings to play a very imposing version of the Sentry. He impressed everyone playing Bjorn Ironside in Vikings. His acting skills are top-notch, and we saw him showcase his talent in a series called Heels as well. So I believe he should get a chance to play a big-name MCU character.
I saved you. And you want to know why I saved you? Because I know you were happy to die.
But apart from him, Marvel could also choose Brad Pitt. He is one of the only few actors who hasn't been turned into a big superhero character. Everyone knows of his insane caliber and acting talent. He even came very close to becoming Cable in Deadpool 2, and he only ended up making a surprise cameo as the Vanisher in the film. Now he is close to taking complete retirement from acting. But before that, he should surely take that box of playing a superhero by entering the MCU. And that could happen with the Sentry, in case Marvel is okay with casting an older actor for the part. But if they are looking for an actor who could hold the character for a long time, then they could cast Taron Egerton. While many have fan cast him as Wolverine, I'd say that he would do an amazing job as Robert Reynolds. He has been exquisite in the 2 Kingsman movies that have come out, and everyone loved him as Elton John in Rocket Man. But now it would be his time in the spotlight, his shot at ultimate stardom, if he gets to join the MCU as well. And that could happen as Robert Reynolds because he surely has the range to be both the Sentry and the Void. But if you think that he is too short for the gig, then you could look at Nicholas Hoult. This 33-year-old actor is known for playing Beast in the X-Men movies. But people also loved him in Mad Max Fury Road.
I live, I die, I live again!
He almost played Batman instead of Robert Pattinson. But since that hasn't happened, and it's highly unlikely that his version of Beast would be called into the MCU, he'd be an amazing choice for the Sentry instead. But if you think he is too skinny, then you could look at Charlie Hunnam. It's about time Charlie Hunnam got a good comic book role. So far, he has been fan cast into characters like Green Arrow and Green Lantern from DC, and he'd be equally good in a Marvel role like Wolverine or even the Sentry. He has been proving his worth in TV shows like Sons of Anarchy and Shantaram. And he has also played a great role in films like The Gentleman and Pacific Rim.
Right! Now, put the phone on the ground.
So I'd say that both Marvel and DC should look at him for potential roles. And the Sentry could be one of these. But besides him, my last choice for the Sentry would be Glenn Powell. Here's a rising star in Hollywood who has done some pretty good work till now. We've seen this guy struggle from the times he appeared in The Dark Knight Rises, where he only got a minor role. Then he starred in The Expendables 3, which was another supporting role. But 2022 turned out to be his most successful year, as he played Hangman in Top Gun Maverick, and then starred as another fighter pilot in Sony's Devotion. Now looking at these performances, I believe that he could be a pretty cool Sentry as well. What do you guys think? Should Glenn Powell or any of these actors be cast in the MCU? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.